a very warm welcome to a special showing. I'm sitting in the south of France with a very special guest. She's none other than Asmita Dubey. She's the Chief Digital and Marketing Officer of L'Oreal Global, and she's headquartered in Paris. I'm extremely excited to be speaking with her today. Thank you so much for joining us here, Asmita.
Yeah, hi there. I'm very happy to be here. It's a beautiful day and we are starting Cannes Lions 2022. So let's chat.
Absolutely. It's been a hard 2 years for companies and for us personally, world over.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for, a category like beauty and makeup, it's also been a tough journey. Having said that, I think the bounce back has been very positive. So tell me about L'Oreal's journey, pre-pandemic, and of course, how you navigated pre-pandemic.
We are the global leaders in beauty, and we have published our Q1 2022 results, and we continue to outperform the market. L'Oreal is a unique company. We are the only ones to have such a balanced portfolio of brands and geographical footprint.
Right.
We invest more than 1 billion euros in research. We have 4,000 researchers all around the world, and innovations, help us navigate the turbulence, and they also help us when the waves of recovery come back. They help us come back faster than others. So if I were to explain to you the pandemic question, I think in the whole world, there is a return of color. There's a return of color in beauty and in fashion. There is a return of an appetite, for moments of social interaction. So when there are more moments of social interaction, beauty is so social. We see a boom in makeup. We see a huge acceleration in fragrance. And as we are shaping the future of beauty with science, technology, and creativity, we benefit from that. To give you an example, in Q1 2022, the makeup category worldwide, it grew by plus 8% year on year versus last year.
Okay.
And we as L'Oreal Group, we grew by plus 14.4%.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. But tell me something. When you say that the category grew by 8%, right, globally, I'm assuming the base year then would be 2021, right? And wouldn't that actually mean that base year should be 2019? Because that was a regular year, and then we had a problematic 2 years. So if you look at the category per se, 2019 versus 2022, how would you say the category is done?
We absolutely, we actually published that in our 2021 results also, that's how we are doing versus both years.
Okay.
And we continue to be very dynamic.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about consumer trends, Asmita, in terms of new consumer consumption of beauty, wellness, and makeup and all of that.
There are many consumer trends that we see. The consumer is evolving all the time. If I were to speak to you about a few of them,
sure.
The consumer is looking for more trust, and more trust on one hand on authenticity and proximity. Therefore, everything to do with social and influencer and advocacy. On the other hand, they are looking for trust that is based on science. There is a huge interest of the consumer on wellness and well-being, and beauty and health. There is interest in terms of new evolving touch points. There is a craving for more experiences, and that's where you see that the consumers are ready for new innovative experiences.
Right. But if I had to ask you, to differentiate from different markets, are there differing trends in beauty and makeup across markets?
I think overall these trends would be broadly
global.
Yeah.
Okay. If you look at communication, because your job, you're Chief Digital and Marketing Officer, if you look at communication of beauty, wellness, and makeup, juxtapose it where we are today in 2022 versus, let's say, a decade ago, how has communication changed with the consumer?
I think that's a great question. It was back in 2010. You mentioned a decade. So it was back in 2010 when our then CEO and chairman, Jean-Paul Agon, he declared the year of digital, So we have been going through this digital transformation for a decade now. And we are digital first in all our endeavors. We'd like to believe that we are pioneering marketing in the digital age and beauty tech with new products and services that are more inclusive, that are more personalized and more sustainable for the world. So the way I would explain, our digitalization journey, and more conceptually, and then we can get into examples. The world is moving. The digital world is moving. Web 2, Web 3. So I want to start by sharing with you my, explanation of what is Web 2.
Sure.
If you look at the Web 2, it is about video, live streaming, AI, machine learning, voice, SaaS, cloud, data, automation. This is what we have been doing. We have been digitalizing and elevating the beauty consumer journeys. And the Web 2 is very much in deployment all across the world. Then there is a new digital reality that is permeating our lives, because there has been a tipping point. Tipping point in terms of consumers, you just mentioned, tipping point in terms of tech empowerment, tipping point in terms of creator economy, and the Web 3 is emerging.
Sure.
When we say Web 3, it started by gaming. Then we are talking about technologies like AR, like VR, like blockchain, like spatial computing. And it is all moving into virtual identity, virtual products and collectibles, and a dream of the Web 3, which is the Metaverse. The way we see it, the way I would describe it, is that the digital world is evolving. It is evolving on 3 or 4 different dimensions. First, it is evolving from products to services. It is evolving now from digital transformation that we have been doing for a decade to data transformation. It is evolving from digitalization to virtualization. And the beauty consumer journeys are evolving from offline plus online, O plus O, to O plus O plus O, which is offline plus online plus on-chain journeys.
What was the last one?
On-chain journeys.
Oh, okay.
And therefore, at L'Oreal, we are laying the foundations of this novel on-chain journey, on-chain beauty journey in Web 3, while keeping our feet firmly grounded in Web 2 acceleration.
Okay, now dumb that down for me and my audience, because that's
Absolutely.
a lot of jargon. So explain to me, what is this on-time journey? What does it mean for a layperson?
Yeah, we can. I think it's a great conversation to get into the Web 3 and the on-chain journey. And then we probably root back to Web 2 and what we're doing there. And I can give more examples on the other one. But in simply put, on-chain journey is our vision of what beauty would be in the Web 3 on the blockchain.
Oh, and what would that be?
It would be more about, we are looking at it from different prisms because the Web 3 is evolving.
Sure.
So we are looking at it first with the roots in the brand DNA.
Okay.
Because, we are all about the brands. So it's about roots in the brand DNA. And we are mapping our brands in what we call the metaverses. Yeah. Second, we are looking at it from the prism of community, because the Web3 values are also about decentralization and community empowerment. We are looking at it from the point of view of how beauty and the expression of it is shifting from 2D to 3D beauty, because there are so many immersive experiences because of the technologies. And we are also exploring virtual experiences like virtual spaces, virtual avatars, virtual influence, virtual products, or virtual collectibles. So all of that is a bit how we are approaching the on-chain beauty. We can continue to talk about that and both about Web 2 and Web 3 because, like I mentioned, we have our feet firmly grounded in Web 2 acceleration, and we are very excited about exploring what is coming, which is the Web 3.
So just for my understanding and my audience understanding, simply put, originally when you looked at beauty, you went, you shopped, you bought your foundation, you bought your lipstick, you buy your skincare, you buy your mascara, whatever, right? Either you buy it online or you go to an offline store and you buy it, right? How does that change, let's say, in Web 3? Is it that I have to buy virtual makeup because I am myself a virtual avatar? How does it work?
Well, like I said, we are evolving from O plus O to O plus O plus O. So I think even before going to the third O, which is on-chain, let us talk about the offline plus online.
Yeah, sure.
Because our consumers are both offline and online. So
Absolutely.
all our divisions are combining offline plus online journeys today. Yeah, and I'll take a few examples for you.
Yeah, I like that.
For example, take the example of professional products division. Professional products division is about our hairstylists and hair salons and consumers. Now, if you look at a typical journey, how the professional product division is digitalizing, we use social media. and we have online activities that are driving our consumers to the salon, because you drive traffic to the salon. So from an online, you're moving offline to a salon.
Sure.
Let's say the consumer reaches the salon.
Yeah.
Once they reach the salon, they are able to scan a QR code. That QR code is an online interaction.
Yeah.
Once you scan the QR code, then you can avail a lot of offers and services. Now, those offers and services could be products that we buy, could be services that we want to engage in, which are again offline at the salon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once you do that and avail an offer and you're a satisfied consumer, from there we start building deeper relationships with the consumer through CRM and again go online. So it's a perfect O+O journey that is at play there.
Got it. Yes.
I can give you another example because there's so many ways in which O+O journeys are evolving today. The other way of creating O+O, which is offline plus online digital assets, is the idea of having a digital twin. And a lot of people talk about digital twins. But what we do is either on our products or on our packaging, we put a QR code. Yeah. And the consumer just has to scan that QR code. And from there on, they can start to understand so much more about the product, which could be what is inside our products. What is the product impact labeling in terms of sustainability? How to use a certain hair coloration, so education and tutorial. How to use services that are like virtual try-ons. So you can just click from the QR code, which is offline on your product, and land on a page where on your smartphone, you can try a specific hair coloration look just online. And we are doing that because we are pioneers in AR beauty. We acquired a company called Modiface back in 2018 that helps us to scale AR beauty. There are other ways. We are also looking at the future of retail O+O. Okay. And tell me where you want to go, and we can talk about that.
I'd like to really understand the future of retail.
The future of retail O+O, it's fantastic. We were at VivaTech 2022 just last week, and there we demonstrated our brand Lancome. That is where the future of retail is going to be physical, digital, and virtual. And in that, I will give you some examples. For example, the brand announced Absolute LED, youth treatment. So it is based on a patented light therapy treatment where it dispenses a luxury skincare formula based on that light therapy. So it's a device, it's a unique in-store experience, it's a device, and you experience that device offline. Then at the Lancome store, you also find a device called Skin Screen. Skin Screen is somewhere which can just diagnose your skin. Diagnose your skin based on 15,000 different images. Therefore, it uses AI and algorithm. And the beauty of it is that service is available in store as a device, but the same service is available online on the website and the direct-to-consumer website. So it's an online plus offline service. Okay. There are other services like that on the Lancome store itself called Shade Finder. So if you put foundation, though your skin is very beautiful, you put your foundation and smoothen your skin. This Shade Finder is a device offline, but it is also a service online, and the Lancome Shade Finder can detect up to 22,000 different shades. So all of these services are extremely O+O in nature. They're defining the future of retail, and that starts to go virtual because we also had an experience at VivaTech 2022 of a Lancome virtual store. So if you're not in that physical store, we can just go online and experience all of this virtually.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of tech.
That's why we are the leaders in beauty tech.
So tell me, if I look at the kind of progress you've made in tech, right, and in beauty tech, in terms of actual purchasing, consumer purchasing these products, what is the kind of trends you're looking at in terms of offline versus online purchase? Are we getting very comfortable, finding shades, buying our stuff online, or is there still a need for offline? What is that kind of split you're seeing?
Oh, that's a great question. I think we have strategic presence, across all distribution channels, both offline and online. It's a bet that we took 10 years ago. So we have accelerated on e-commerce, and then the brick and mortar is back after the pandemic. So we are very much online, offline, and maybe tomorrow on chain. So I gave you the example of virtual try-ons. So you can use a smartphone where you have a virtual try-on. It's an augmented reality. So on the phone, you can have half of your face, which is like without the color of the lipstick, the other half with the lipstick, pink or purple or, nude colors, or the same thing for hair coloration. These services, we are scaling everywhere. We have like more than 1,200 deployments and more than 1 billion try-ons worldwide. But the beauty of it is that our retailers are also using it. So we have more than 50 retailer partnerships. And when we use it, we know that whether we use it on our websites or social media or search or retailer, there are two things that happen. First, it creates great engagement with beauty.
Yeah.
Because it's about convenience and choice. And then the conversion rates and all improve because the consumer is able to experience that convenience and that choice for themselves very easily.
Sure. I'm interested in asking you about some trends that I've observed, especially in the Indian market, right? And you can possibly, give me a more global outlook.
Absolutely.
Right. So in India, as you know, it's many India. So we have, India and we have Bharat. So if you look at the Bharat trends, suddenly makeup has become so big. Everybody's YouTubing. There are new influencers every day who are doing makeup tutorials and talking about skin. So we see Bharat getting into makeup and loud makeup, makeup to show you that I'm wearing makeup. And then we have the other India, which has done this journey and now is going into the more minimalistic, makeup on, but still looks like no makeup on, right? So it's a very minimalistic look. So both those trends are pretty apparent. And we're also seeing a burst of new brands, new startups, which are hitting the beauty market, which are doing pretty well. Now, whether they can sustain it is the question, but as of now, they're doing well because they've come with affordable pricing. They're targeting Bharat and they're targeting, the top of the pyramid consumer. My question is, so it's a very crowded market and beauty suddenly booming, especially now that the lockdown's over and people have come out. There's revenge shopping and all of that happening. This kind of crowded market and experimentation that consumers are doing, how does a brand like L'Oreal, which is a very established brand, maintain its leadership position and its dominance versus the new and the yuppie?
Well, we have a portfolio of brands.
Right.
Yeah, we are the global leaders in beauty. We spoke about that.
Right.
Maybelline is the #1 makeup brand worldwide.
Oh, okay.
L'Oreal Paris. L'Oreal Paris is one of our brands. L'Oreal Paris is a brand that is the #1 beauty brand worldwide.
Okay.
You spoke about influencers and advocates and using. If I were to step back and say, what are we doing? Beauty is extremely social as a category. Yeah, and we have been playing with social beauty with Instagram. We've been mastering the new platforms like TikTok. We are looking at new tools like live streaming. Yeah, and I will give you some examples here. We are at Cannes Lions 2022. Just a month ago, we were at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah,
and L'Oreal Paris has been a partner. It's an official makeup partner of Cannes Film Festival for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
And what the brand did this year was partner with these social platforms like Instagram and TikTok to bring this experience to millions of audiences. Yeah. So when you do something like that, you democratize the best of beauty. L'Oreal, I'll give you another example, which is content to commerce there.
Okay.
So L'Oreal Paris last year, I think in September 2021, it did the first ever beauty runway show, which was shoppable.
Oh wow, where?
In UK.
Oh, okay.
In UK. So we had we took the Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
And then we worked with the TikTok shopping.
Okay.
And while the Paris Fashion Show was going on, people could actually buy those looks with the help of TikTok shopping. So that's another way
How
of
did that work?
influencing.
What was the response?
The response is always interesting for these things. And what it does is it creates a model of content to commerce. From content to commerce, I think I will take the example of India for you.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily makeup, but I'm shifting to another category. Maybe we talk about PPD in India, and then I will talk about skincare. So you
What
get
is the full form of PPD?
Professional Products Division.
Okay,
Our
okay.
Professional Products Division, and our Professional Products Division is doing a fantastic program in India, Expert Salon Care program. The expert salon care program, this idea of influence, and advocacy, it is taking to all our prescribers. So it is taking it to our hairstylists, which is a great community for us. And what experts hair, expert salon care program, what it does is it enables the hairstylists to have a deeper engagement with their consumers, because we provide them a platform in which the consumers could buy professional products, order them, have a consultation with the stylist, book a service with them. And that's how I spoke about content to commerce. This becomes social commerce. So it's influence to commerce that starts growing. And the last example on this that I take, moving away from makeup and hair to something like skincare. So it's a very different category,
And skin growing.
Absolutely. And skincare is about exploration, and it is about education, So how do you do exploration and education with influence and with advocacy? Our brand CeraVe, CeraVe is a brand that has a medical first strategy. And the brand is developed together with dermatologists. The brand is doing extremely well globally, both in terms of sales, but also in terms of organic brand love. So if you see CeraVe, it is the #1 searched skincare brand globally. It is the #1 viewed brand globally on skincare on TikTok. It is natural for a brand like that to pair up. You know what we pair there? We pair a dermatologist, skincare specialist, and an influencer. And they pair together to converse about the brand. And when you do something like that, you bring education, but also entertainment to our consumers. So this is in some of the examples and some of the ways in which we are growing the influence and, for everybody in the world.
Asmita, with all the communication strategies that you've spoken about so far, traditional media just doesn't have a place. I mean,
I know the world is physical, digital, and virtual. We spoke about the future of retail. We spoke, I think
the traditional media.
Absolutely. It absolutely has a role,
and still active.
Yeah, it is still active.
Still active.
Us. Yeah, we are more and more digital. So a large percentage of our budgets are digital, but we don't look at it as offline and online. We look at it more as a full funnel marketing. We look at it as upper funnel marketing, where you're creating demand for our brands and creating aspiration. We look at the middle funnel, which we just spoke about, where there is influence and people get to try it. They try services, they talk to influencers, they interact. And then the lower funnel, where they're into the transaction. And sure, the funnel could be converging. And it is both offline and online.
So Asmita, now let's take a leap forward and talk about the future. Web3, the Metaverse, it's the big, trending word, at least in Cannes. Every marketer is talking about the Metaverse. Sometimes I wonder, is it all the hype and hoopla? Just like, data at one point was bit-sized data, big data, small data, all of that. It's Web3 now. Explain to me, and dumb it down for me and my audience in this complex world. How are we going to participate in this alternate life of ours? And what is the brand's role with us there?
Yeah. I mean, I briefly touched upon it, that it is true that we believe that the future of beauty will be physical, digital, and virtual. And all realities will exist. The digital world is moving, and we'll say it will pace that movement, but it is moving from digitalization to virtualization. And it is the beauty journeys are evolving. We spoke so much about offline plus online, and we had tons of exciting examples there. And we will have examples, and we're working through it, because the journey will move to O+O+O, online plus offline plus on-chain in the Web3. And I'm going to take one or two examples for you there. So let me take the example of our brand, NYX Professional Makeup. NYX Professional Makeup is a brand rooted in makeup artistry, and in entertainment and in community. And the way the brand wants to explore Web3 is to become the first ever decentralized record label for creators in Web3.
What does that mean?
Record label for creators in Web3. If you look at the brand NYX Professional Makeup, when Instagram started, and Instagram and makeup have such a nice relationship. NYX Professional Makeup was one of the leading brands, and still is one of the leading brands on Instagram worldwide. So it is a brand of community. The Web3 value, the Web3 value is more about decentralization and community empowerment. Imagine an interoperable world. Interoperable means one platform is interoperable with the other platform. And imagine a world where there could be a subscription or token based model where the influencer can have a direct financial relationship with their audience. Today they don't have a direct financial relationship. That is the vision of Web3. And in that vision of Web3, the brand wants to empower the creators and support them. And what does it mean for the brand? Because there are so many different 3D artists today who are doing work on face and beauty.
Yeah.
So for a brand like NYX Professional Makeup, it's completely in line with their DNA, because it interacts with new 3D artists, new animators, new software engineers. We work with blockchain experts. We start working even more with marginalized communities, because the brand just announced a partnership with, I'll throw some new platform names, Web3 names, People of Crypto, Sandbox, and NYX Professional Makeup. They are doing a partnership. Yeah. Now I'll explain all three of you. People of Crypto is a creative lab.
Oh.
And their vision is to make a more inclusive metaverse. Sandbox is one of the metaverses in Web3, and NYX Professional Makeup is the brand. Then they come together and they launch more than 8,000 different avatars.
Okay.
And to make a very inclusive and representative metaverse, where NYX Professional Makeup brings inspiration on makeup and looks. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is our brand, Yves Saint Laurent Beauty. Yves Saint Laurent Beauty, the brand DNA is about being pioneering, daring beauty. So what Yves Saint Laurent Beauty wants to do is to play with the new codes of beauty. They said there will be new codes of beauty that are coming in. It wants to play with these new codes of beauty. We spoke about Vivatech 2022. So just last week at Vivatech 2022, Yves Saint Laurent Beauty, it opened 10,000 YSL Beauty Golden Block NFTs.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
And they all got taken away, because what it was doing is it was creating a specific YSL wallet, and we are working with new partners there. And through that, it allows for unlocking utilities and experiences. So utilities and experiences like watching a very specific content, or being part of a music festival or concert, or being part of the community of Yves Saint Laurent Beauty and getting special offers. So Yves Saint Laurent Beauty is going to work more on those lines, and even create products and collectibles in the future there.
Wow. It all sounds very, very geeky and techy. But Asmita, you've, before I close, you've taken over in 2021 with this global role. Of course, you're a L'Oreal veteran, 10 years. You're also a professional who's done, zonal level, regional level, now global level, and also first starting your career from India and being a woman. I think it's amazing. I think you've broken every single barrier that we're talking about when we talk about being a more gender equal world and having more gender equity. Do you want to give some words of inspiration to women who are watching you, and even men who are watching you, to make more Asmitas, globally?
No, I can share with you my journey.
Yes,
I can share with you my journey, and I'm sure each one of us has a very unique journey.
Yeah.
So I come from India. I started my journey in advertising, where I developed my love for brands and communication. I went to China very early, back in 2005. I spent 12 years of my life in China.
Wow.
And that is where I joined L'Oreal as the Chief Marketing Officer, and we were starting the digital transformation. So we were doing the first joint business plans with Alibaba and Tencent, and accelerating e-commerce, and it was a great time. There in China, when you spend all that time, you start to understand, the whole scale of digitalization of such a large population, which is all transforming. Then I moved to Paris at our headquarters 5 years ago in a mass market division, in the consumer products division, and which is where the insight of the middle class and the upper middle class of the world is extremely valuable.
Okay.
I have worked in the space of digital transformation for the last 10 years at L'Oreal, and when I take this group position, it's a fantastic responsibility, because it is about creating responsibly the best consumer engagement with beauty. What I did personally, I think I took a lot of bets.
Yeah.
I took a lot of bets because I moved to China very early.
Yes.
I spent a lot of time with that experience. I was very enthusiastic about moving from Shanghai to Paris. I have moved also my journey from the advertising side to the corporate side. So it's about taking a lot of bets.
And the bet can go either way. You have to be ready.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's perfect. I think that's very sound advice. I'm going to take some of that advice myself. Thank you so much, Asmita. Truly a pleasure meeting with you. And hopefully next time I meet with you, it'll be in India. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Glad to be with everybody. Thank you.